What's up, y'all? TB from SMB coming at you today with a recap of a really, really very choppy day. Again, another day of mind-numbingly boring price action. Oh god. Oh god. This is the hourly chart. Look at these hourly candles. Look at this. 5 hours of NASDAQ going in between 293 to 291. 5 hours of that. But, I know it's a red day. I had one trade, but I am happy with how I did today. I know I didn't do anything. I lost money, but I'm happy that I didn't even try. I didn't even try to trade this shit today. Look at this. Look at Square. All right, what did I do? My one trade recap. We'll get into it. We'll just get right into it, guys. I bought a put on Square. Alright, so what did I say yesterday? I didn't upload the recap because I didn't think it was very interesting. But I had a plan for Square. Had a plan. If I can clean up the chart and get to the plan. So I had a plan on Square. I'm like, alright, Square, I'm going to see where we open. I'm going to see if we reject 84.50. If we do, I'm going to take it short. So we never got to 84.50. We opened on some really huge red candles going down, going down. We come back up, test the next level at $80.38. We get a rejection, one candle rejection. So I buy a put. What happens? It goes straight up. I could have lost like $100 on this. I cut my losses at $45, I think. $46. So a little paper cut, and after that, I was just like, alright, I missed that move, I'll wait for the next move. And then what happened on Square? There wasn't a next move. It literally just went sideways it went in between $84, and like $82.50 for the next four hours or so. So, yeah, that was a very, it sucks. It was just a super choppy, ugly ass day. I mean, I could have woken up and grabbed a put and just like wrote it down. That was the big move, but I tried to not touch the first half an hour. I tried to see what direction we get, and it looked like it was going to be a down day, but it wasn't. We flipped around, so I took one small paper cut of a loss. NASDAQ, same thing. Opened on 3 huge red candles, immediately recovered, came up, tested that level, came down, tested that level, bounced off of it, tested, broke, and just chopped around. It was terrible. Just no volume all day, too. Super low volume. This is the lowest volume day we've had since about, let's see, 59 million is what we ended with today. Yeah, this is the lowest volume day since like in well over a month, since April 19th. So I told myself so many times last week, I was like, do not trade the chop. Do not even try it. Look at this. I mean, this is from 8 o'clock, basically from 8 o'clock till close. I mean, it was like 5 hours of just nothing. Just nothing. We had the NASDAQ in a market where the NASDAQ moves so quickly sometimes. I mean, this is not a big enough move, and just the setup wasn't there. I mean, it was like a rising wedge, so I could have shorted that, but it only went down like a couple bucks. So that's not even enough to make like it's not enough. It's not enough for me. I'm not taking trades like that. It just was way too slow, and then it recovered, and then went back down, and then it chopped around for just like, look at these candles. I mean, my God, what the hell is even that? Just not interested. I'm not interested. I'll save that money. I had a terrible day last Monday, and what happened last Monday too? Last Monday, oh look at that, the 16th. That was also terrible volume, super low volume. Nothing happened. So all day today, I was like, if we get some volume, I'll do something. But there was no volume. Never any volume. And no volume means your setups don't mean shit because there's no volume. Your setups aren't going to follow through when there's no volume. So I'm just not going to touch it. So what the Nasdaq did do, I could have shorted it on the second rejection of 293.82, and that would have rode down, but it literally went from that down like $2, and that was it. So I just know if I would have sat through this chop, I mean, this is just nauseating. I know if I would have sat through this, I would have stopped out at some point. Like, there's no doubt in my mind. I just know my own emotions at this point that I am not going to sit through this where you get a huge red candle followed by a doji, followed by another one, followed by two big old green candles and one huge red candle and then more big green candles. It's not for me. I'll pass. I'll wait till we get some actual direction. I mean, we did get some direction. I mean, it went up. That was the move. That was the only move today. Was this from 287 up to 293? We went up, and that was about it. So, if anything, I was not aggressive enough in the opening. I mean, you never know. The only hour of the day is going to be the only time you get any goddamn movement, or the first 2 hours, and that's what happened. So for the first 2 hours, I took that trade on Square, and it was a bad trade. I mean, it didn't go my way. It didn't kill me. It was only 46 bucks, so I'll take it. It could have easily been another minus 300 day if I tried to trade through this garbage, so I did not. Let's look at Facebook. Did the same thing. So I'm trying to narrow my field of stocks I try to trade. I'm trying to get better with Facebook, trying to get better with Square, AMD, Nvidia, all the big tech names. Apple too. Oh, and speaking of Apple, that was literally the only thing that happened today. Apple is the only reason the market is up today. There's no mistake about it. Apple carried the entire market. Apple went up 4% today. So Apple had one big move from open. If you would have grabbed to call it open and just held it, you would have made money. I'm not that type of trader. I don't do that. I could have waited and saw this retest we had here at 138 or 139. We bounced off that and just went straight up from there. That was a good setup. I didn't get that setup. I didn't see it. But otherwise, Apple went straight up, and at 9 o'clock, it went sideways for, what is that, 4 hours straight. So Apple carried the entire market up, and then it went sideways for 4 hours. So that was literally 4 hours of me wasting time just staring at these charts with nothing going on. So I don't know. I mean, it sucks. It's a red day. I'm never gonna be like, yay, red day. But I know it could have been a terrible day because there was just so much chop. I mean, if I would have seen Square do this, it ripped up, and then I was waiting for the confirmation that we were gonna go down. I'm waiting, and it's going down a little bit, but then just immediately turned around. I'm just like, thank God I was patient because I was so convinced that, oh yeah, Square's going straight down from here, and it just didn't. It reversed, and then it looked like it was going down, and then it came back up, and then it looked at, but it was just nothing there. I'm trying to trade off levels, and Square literally was just chopping in between these two levels at $85 and $80. And there's no money. I mean, normal people aren't making money off of that. The computers are making money off of that. Computers are trading millions of shares every second. But I am a human, and I do not see the money to be made off of this. It just is nonsense. I mean, it's literally just chop, just nothing else. Consolidation, indecision, super low volume. No one's buying anything. Just when you see there's low volume and chop, it just pure indecision. And if I have nothing to go off of, if I cannot even convince myself that I think we're going to go a certain direction, I just do not see the reason to trade. And I'll take my $46 loss, and now I'm only red $46 on the week. I'm not down like $300 the first day, and I don't feel like a piece of shit like I did last week. So I can actually turn this week around into a green week. I mean, it's doable, and I am just happy with that, I guess. Um, but other than that, I mean, Microsoft went up today. Oh, and then banks. My God, banks carried the S&P up so hard. Like, I don't know what banks did today, but every bank was up huge today. So today was the day of Apple carried the market, and then banks carried the market. And I mean, I don't really know what else there is to say about it. When it's this low volume, like I didn't grab any puts at close, but it's like, what are we gonna do? Like, what's the market gonna do from here? Oh, gee, I wonder. Oh, if only I could zoom out and see what it does every time it does that. So every time we get a violent yank down, we get green, and then we get chop, and then we get another violent yank down. Every time for the past month. So now I just sit and wait for the next violent rip down. And look at this. You can look from March. What happens? Violent yank, green, little chop, violent yank, a little green, chop, 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 violent yank, green, chop, 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 yank her back down, go back up, chop around, huge yank, go green, yank, green, yank. It's so predictable at this point. But I know there's gonna be the one time I'm like, all right, I see it this time. I'm gonna go short. Is gonna be the time that nope, never mind. It's a bear market rally, so we're gonna go up. But you can just look at the RSI and see it too. Every time the RSI gets up here at 60, what does it do? 60 right here, it's up at 60, yank down eventually. We got close to overbought. This is PAL day, yanked down. We got up to 60 RSI here, yanked down. 60 RSI here, yanked down, yanked down, yanked down. It's very predictable. So I'm gonna wait and see. I just feel like holding risky puts overnight is just not worth the risk because futures can just destroy them. And futures, I mean, we had very green futures yesterday. But we still ended up opening. We didn't even open on a gap. We opened basically even. So I don't want to touch any options like risky options that are only like a week out overnight because it can get destroyed by huge gaps up in the futures market. And movements in the futures market is not actual stock movements. It's basically just computers fucking around and trying to screw people over because there's like no volume overnight in the futures, so it can just move the price, and you can tell when it's a fake ass gap up when it does this, like what it did. I mean, we had a huge gap up, huge fat old gap up, and then just immediately sold off as soon as the market opens. So that's basically the market we're in right now. But what else? What else? What else? Just gonna look at Apple though. So Apple, I want to see it come up. I mean, you can just see what Apple's doing. It's just been doing this the entire time. We are lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Oh, we got a higher high here. Higher low even. What's happening? Nope. Lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. So now we're waiting for the next LH lower high. And I'm just gonna give it a short because I know with every slow, super duper slow ass movement up in this market, there is gonna be a super quick yank straight down. So at this point it seems so much smarter to just wait for that to happen and just take the profits instead of just trying to force trades in this, and that's what I took from last week, and that's why I woke up and I was like, what was the number one thing? I'm gonna just do that. I wrote it down. I'm like, what is one thing that no matter what happens, I cannot forget about this one thing that happened last week? And last week that one thing was I tried to trade through the chop and just got fucking massacred. So do not do that. If it chops, you get one trade. If you lose that trade, so be it. That's it. You take your little paper cut loss, and you're on the next day because it's all about just having money for the good times. You gotta have money for the good times, and I'm just gonna not have any money for the good times if I try to trade through this shit. So, yeah, that's how it is. That's how it is now. It's boring. I mean, I hate it. I'm sitting here. I literally stared at my computer screen for 4 hours, and just nothing happens. I mean, like, what is this? Like, how does Apple go straight up and then just do this? Go sideways, literally perfectly sideways all day. Same with Facebook. Facebook, it went straight up, and you could tell like nothing else wanted to even be green. Like AMD barely even squeaked out a green day. Nvidia barely even squeezed out a green day. Like this is just so obviously like Apple was just so strong today that it just carried the entire market. So I missed that one move on Apple, and that was it. But then AMD, same thing. We're just bouncing, just a fucking ping pong in between levels. Look at this. Tap that level, bounce to the next level, tap off that, bounce off, tap off of that, bounce that level. It's just like boing, 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 back and forth. No breaks of anything, just pure consolidation and indecision. So I know what to look for. I know what the decision looks like when the market makes decision. You see the volume, you see the movement, and I know to act on it. Now I will do that. But yeah, that's basically all I got today. It's super. You would think a Monday. I don't know what it is with Mondays. You would think a Monday people wake up and there's just like there's gonna be movement, but man, these Mondays have just been freaking brutal, dude. Like absolutely brutal, man. Just terrible. Like what the hell is even that? And then, well, I mean, the ninth was a nice day, but fuck, man, these past two Mondays have just been brutal. So I know Thursday is going to have big probably negative catalysts. We have Baba and Google earnings, so I know there's going to be movement coming up. I know there will be. For now, it just looks like this is just purely a short covering rally. Shorts are just, they make a new low, they cover, they wait for the recovery, and now it looks like we could bounce right off of this level, the NASDAQ right here at 293. Look at this level. This level is so money, dude. I mean, we've tapped it 5 times and bounced off of it. So a 6-3 test, and we could break it, but if we do break it, I'm watching 297, and then of course 300 after that. But I mean, I got no reason to not just be waiting for the next move down. That's just what this market's been doing until I see a higher high. Until I see the Nasdaq can actually take 300 and get to like 310, then I say, hey, maybe we're going up. Maybe if we fill this gap. We have 2 gaps to the upside, but I mean, we have so many gaps to the upside. That's just a couple there, but it's gonna be a hell of a bear market rally when it does come. I think it could be this next month. I think June could be or I mean, even at the end of this week, going into next week, and then just green for the next couple weeks after that. I wouldn't be surprised at all because earnings season will finally be done, and at least until the next CPI data comes out and inflation is still as bad as ever. Until then, we could just get a pure face ripping, just shoot everything straight up, and I'm gonna do everything I can to get the fuck out of Nvidia for now, because I think Nvidia is probably gonna see below $100 shortly. I mean, its P&E is still so overvalued. If Nvidia got to like the 70s, I think was its P&E? Yeah, it could get to like the 80s for it to get to a reasonable forward P&E, which would be at 15. It's at 30 P&E now at 168. So there's no end in sight for the blood. I mean, don't even get me started about Tesla. Fucking hey, Tesla can come down to, my God, it can come down. It can come on down. Oh baby, Tesla can come on down to $200 and it would still be an absurd P&E. So that is, I mean, and that's just the entire theme behind this pullback, is that the first companies to get absolutely destroyed were the companies that had P&Es in the 80s. Like, those were the first ones to get destroyed. So now it's just working its way down to Apple, down to Microsoft, down to Tesla, and it's only just begun for those. Whoa, what is Apple doing after hours right now? What is going on? This can't be real. What is happening? This is real time here, folks. What? My Weeble is completely broken. What the fuck? Whoa, that was so weird. That was really bizarre. Okay, that scared the shit out of me. I'm like, what is happening with Apple? Is the short, is the rally here? Okay, Weeble's just broken. That was so bizarre. It showed me it was up 4% after hours. Apple was, and the S&P was up like 2% after hours. I was like, what? This can't be real. Okay, fake news. Fake news, everyone. Don't worry. But, yeah. I mean, as for now, I can only look at what the market's been doing recently, and what it's been doing recently is just, yeah, what is this wick? Look at this wick. It wicked all the way up to 149. What the hell's going on, Weeble? What are you on? That was fake. What the fuck? Alright. Yeah, but what the market's been doing recently is it's just been doing the same old thing. Just higher, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. So it's to be expected. I kind of said this in my thing that I didn't post yesterday, is that I expect today to be green because if you look at the hourly RSI on Apple and everything was oversold. So I mean, they've been doing this just perfectly. Like, the RSI has yet to get to oversold on the Nasdaq this entire time. The Nasdaq has had 7 red weeks in a row, and on the daily, it has not gotten oversold. Like, it's just like, it's perfect the way they are. They give us these green days just to keep this RSI, this line right here, from getting into the 30s. It's perfect. It's ridiculous. I mean, it's so weird to see the weekly RSI at oversold. Meanwhile, the daily isn't at any point. It's very, very bizarre stuff we're getting. But yeah, that's all my ramblings for today. I'm just gonna look forward to tomorrow. Hopefully we can get some actual direction. I mean, we got some upwards direction today, but just it was just God. I see just no volume. I mean, look, the volume was here in the morning, and then just look at this. It's like it's just nothing going on. Just you cannot buy a call when you see a green candle with this little volume. Like I just can't do it. I just have to see volume. I can't do it, man. So, hey, I learned a lesson. I got a lesson. Do not touch the chop. Key lesson. We learned it. And that's all for y'all, folks. I'll catch you guys tomorrow.